Hello, folks. Welcome to. It would have been a normal walkie talkie, but I'm in my kitchen. I have been observing what's been going on around Glasgow Central over the course of the night, and it's absolutely shocking stuff. I could have went and got a bus into town to actually have footage live for you. Number one, other people are doing that, and number two, you don't know when parts of the town could suddenly get closed off even more than what it was. All I can say is if there's any use who are on my following that use chains on the upper level like Cathcar or like Lark Hall, Lanark, Largs, the Paisley routes as well. Don't be hugely surprised if you don't get access into the building of Glasgow Central. The fire was actually caused by a vape shop, but it spread round the side of the Glasgow Central building, up and around and over towards Gordon Street. And that just goes to show the absolute ferocity of the flames. And without doubt, there's probably been some contact with Glasgow Central Station, the main concourse, to be honest. Central Station won't be opening up anytime Monday, and depending on how progress is with the firefighters, the streets like Gordon Street, Union Street, etc., are going to be closed again for 24 hours. It's absolutely dumbfounding that actually such a massive fire that it quite honestly moved round the corner and up, right, came from something like this. It really is utterly dumbfounding. But I tell you something, when electric cigarettes first came out, they had tiny little batteries, and yeah, they were chargeable, however, they didn't have much capacity in them. These have, like, let's say 500 milliamps, which doesn't sound huge, but compared to your lowest voltage plug-in device at 3 amps, 500 milliamps isn't small, and it can cause a fair amount of damage. And if you're let's say using one of these vapes here, and your hands are damp, and live cables were nearby, like live in the neutral, red and black, right? You could potentially get a shock, and some people have actually misappropriated the vapes into small little stun gun devices, right? So there's a lot of voltage involved in that. In the actual tasers or stun guns the police have 20,000 volts in a small pocket-sized device, which is it's still pretty chilling, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, uh, I've seen a lot of cordon off various zones throughout today, and with good reason, because part of buildings have actually collapsed, right? And it might need be for the cordon area to be expanded. We don't know how the brickwork and other parts of the building would have coped with what happened tonight. People are talking about lead. Lead, when it gets very hot, turns to almost a liquid run of metal. That's a big thing to worry about, and obviously asbestos isn't too far behind. Um, but one thing for sure, make sure if you're going to work tomorrow, as in Monday, make sure you leave the house in plenty of time, because there's a good chance, because of Central Station being completely closed, you're going to have to be negotiating your way around like local bus networks, or potentially waiting up to 2 hours in the rail replacement queue, right? So be patient. Yeah, be patient with it all, and don't be too surprised if your replacement transport driver takes a bit of an obscure way of getting there. Don't take the piss out of him. He's doing his best. It's just absolutely awful what's happened. A vape shop. I mean, the question is, it was a single vape that went pop and then set fire to XYZ, or was it a big collection of? We'll find out in the future, I suppose. But again, if you're going to work, make sure you have plenty of time, and maybe even ask your workplace provider to actually provide you uh, working at home, because this would be quite a good reason to work at home. You're not able to get into a workplace. Send a Google Drive link, a XYZ, it's to be done. Get it done. Yeah. Oh man. It's a real shame what's happened. And I feel really sorry for all the business operators around Central Station, because it's not just Central Station, Gordon Street, Union Street. There's Hope Street. Then there is the Argyle Street under the Helaman's umbrella. So yeah, it's just awful. I think that vape shop's going to get sued right into the ground by Network Rail and ScotRail for cancelling their trains. And to be honest, if something negligent happened, then it's time to own up and pay up. And every so often, up before this incident happened, you'd hear horror stories of vapes exploding and stuff, and being broadcast on telly about it. So, maybe this has been an example of how dangerous vapes can be. Remember, if you're vaping, to be honest, you're actually halfway towards off cigarettes and tobacco products altogether. So, if this is something that could maybe give people inspiration to kick the vapes, this might be a good thing. But overall, this situation that's happened in the town is an absolute horror show, and I'm going to say to the folks that were there when it all kicked off, it's a traumatic image, and if you ever need a bit of help with regard to processing the trauma, reach out and speak out. So I think I'm going to just head off now. Hopefully there will be better updates to follow tomorrow, but if there isn't, we just challenge it head on and get on with it. But yeah, Glasgow, honestly, we're with you, and if you need help, you know what to do. Catch you later.